Good morning, everybody. Danny and Wanda back from Pecan Grove. Today is the day we cut up the pig that we've had hanging in the cooler now for, what is it, 3 days? We've had him hanging in the cooler. I think that's been long enough to dry him out good and get it where we can handle him. Gonna do a little bit of different processing today than we did last time. Now that I have the cooler right here, I can actually cut particular sections off and take it back to the cooler out there and leave it hanging in the cool while I'm working on one section, so it don't begin to warm up as much as it normally did. Like last time I had the whole side laying here and I had to work, and it really got to where it started getting too flexible, too pliable. The temperature this morning in here is about 42 degrees in here. So that's a good temperature to work with. Now, Ms. Wanda's got to go run some errands right quick. So what I'm going to do is run out to the cooler, and I'm going to cut a section of the pig off at a time because I can't handle to lift that giant section of hog, and plus I don't want it all in here at one time. But now we do have these hardcore carnivore mats here. These are disposable. You just throw these away when you get through with them. You can lay stuff out, you can cut on it, and when you finish, you just pitch them in the garbage. It's over with. I kind of like that. We purchased these on Amazon. They're in a case over here. You'll see it like this right here. If any of you have ever, there's 30 of them in there. These are the 24 by 18s. They're great for barbecuing, camping, fishing, hunting. These are cutting boards and stuff like that. They're really, really good to use for this type of stuff, because we were actually pulling out our paper laying on the tables here, trying to use the paper, and the paper was getting cut through and everything. These are actually really, really good. Today I'm wearing a apron. I've had these for years and years and years, and I never remember them. And today I decided I don't want to get this mess all over me. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to put my apron on. And I have my anti-cut glove. This has steel woven into it, stainless steel, in case, because I'm always working with my right hand. If I cut, it would be the left hand. I have several pairs of these. Have purchased them over the years. I got them with kits and different things that I've bought. So I do have those. So let's go out and see if we can't get that front section off of that pig that I want to get off of there first. We're going to be using our Victorinox. This is a 10-inch one. I like it. This is from the Bearded Butcher. Has a YouTube channel. Go check them out. I think they do really, really good work with their butchering. Woo, look at there. 33 degrees in there this morning. We got a lot smaller space to work in here, so I'm going to have to kind of take it easy here. I don't want to... and you would know the pigs hung around backwards when they hung. So... I want to be able to show what I'm doing. What you normally do is you count like 1, 2, 3, you count the 4 ribs, but you know what? You usually cut between the 4th and the 5th, but we lost a lot of bacon last time. So I'm going to cut between the 3rd and the 4th this time, and that's where I want this big Victorinox knife at. It went right through there. Turned out to do a fantastic job. I'll get it where I can get it all back there. And then I'm going to see if I can't come up here, and we're going to cut through there. There we go. Now, this thing is so big and so heavy, I'm going to try to put this up here and cut this off and see if I can get this to fall in here where you all can kind of see what... I don't want it to fall on the floor. Okay, this is a large, really.
The knot doesn't need to be in there. It's going to pick it up.
Let me, I can lay all this down here. Now let's see if we can. All right, it's still got a bone in there. I thought it maybe had cut it all out, but it don't.
Woo, perfect.
That's a big chunk of meat right there now. Boy, look at that. If I can get up these steps with it. All right. I can get a hold of it. Ooh, Lord, have mercy. I'm gonna tell y'all what. That's a big chunk of meat. I gotta go close that cooler up. I can't complain about the cooler. The cooler has done fantastic for 3 days. And I have an 8,000 BTU unit in it. I could have probably went with a 6 was what I really needed. I could not find a 6 nowhere. A 5, I believe a 5 would probably do it. But the 8, it's on low. You know, CoolBot says to leave them on high. You can't leave that one on high. You have to put it on low. But it has performed fantastic. I have no issues with it whatsoever.
Nice start, huh?
Got a nice start. Yeah, turned out pretty good. I keep switching back and forth between the 6-inch Victorinox and the other one because I'm kind of picky about my meat. When I find little blood spots in it, I like to take them out. You know, I feel like it that works out better. You can do it that way. I'll tell you what, this is a big chunk of meat right here. And when you fill a chunk of meat this big, you got to have, you know, you need a big knife to do it with. And that's why I'm using the big one here. And I'm also cutting my fat out of it. And I'm kind of throwing it over in the corner here because I ain't got my second box out yet here. What I did was I pulled all the leaf lard loose while the pig, when we were butchering it, so that, and just left it in here to hang in the cooler.
It made it easier to get it loose.
Made it a whole lot easier to get it loose. I'm going to take that one out.
Not so much easier than whacking it out.
Yeah, last time we had to sit there and whittle it out of there. And I remembered the old way we used to do it. We cut it and tore it loose and just left it hanging with the animal. So that worked out really, really good to do that. That'll be a futuristic thing that we will be doing. I have butchered a lot of pigs in my life. I ain't never.
You ought to weigh that right quick, see what kind of...
Well, I got to get rid of some of this.
Trimming it up.
I got some bad stuff along the edges here.
This is our bacon on one side.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get some of that nasty out of it. Okay, and then this has got to...
Level out.
Yeah, I got to trim this out just a little bit here. This here. Put over there for fat. Goodness gracious.
See what it looks like on the end. Oh yeah. It's gonna be nice.
It's gonna be like super nice. I mean, I think I'm gonna just keep it all.
Okay, I can't see it. It looks like it's almost a 20, like
15 pounds, looks like. Yep.
No, 15.
15. Okay, I didn't miss it far.
15 pounds.
I think 15 is the biggest one I've ever done. I don't think
Most
I've
of them
ever...
are around 10 to 12.
Most of them around 10 to 12 pounds. You're right. I'm amazed.
So that's going to be 2 pieces of bacon. You're going to cut it in 2?
Yes, I'm going to be cutting it into 2 pieces. And while I got it here, it's a perfect time to work on it, I reckon. Because, I mean, it's up off the table. Yeah, I think it, you know, and you can kind of tell. That's going to, that's just some, that's a lot of bacon right there.
And we got one more side to go.
We got a whole nother side to go. I mean, look at it's got an inch of fat on it right there. A good solid inch of fat on that.
Just leave it alone. All right, now we've got the ribs. You want to show them the ribs?
Oh yeah, look at the ribs that come out of this. Look at this. Look what a section of ribs that is.
Isn't that nice?
That is a jam up set of ribs right there now. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Man, is that pretty.
We had some good barbecue sauce and all that smoked, and now over here we already have...
I've got this almost ready for grinding meat here. When we get it full, I'm going to set it back in the cooler to stay cool till we get through with the whole pig. Now they got the cooler right out the door. I can set this back in there. We can keep it cool, and we can just do all of our grinding at one time. Now this is all just plain lard right here. And we got some more to add in there with that. This is the leaf lard that was inside it. Now that's really a lot of leaf lard. If you look at it, when you open it up, that's really a lot of leaf lard right there. Look at that. Okay, this is what we got left right here, guys. We got the loin and the hind quarter left. We got our ribs hanging there and our bacon. That's the beauty of this cooler. I can do this in stages.
And then we've got
our plastic tote down here of meat that's ready to be ground. We're going to try to get everything done, then be able to run the bandsaw all at one time, run the grinder all at one time. We're trying to get it all where we can just do it all one time instead of having to do a little bit here and a little bit there and then have the meat on the bandsaw drying and stuff like that. It really makes for a mess. I'm going to try to see if I can cut just the loin and take it in, get it all trimmed up, get it ready, and then come back, get the other loin, get it ready, and then see if I can come get the hindquarters last and debone them, cut the ham steaks out of them, because we're not going to be curing any hams or anything. That's 30 pounds right there.
That's about the same size as my whole body.
We did not get to everything on the pig yesterday. We started at 7 o'clock in the morning, and we worked all day.
till 7 o'clock last night.
Till 7 o'clock last night, yep. I know that sounds crazy, but when you're doing a pig and you're doing everything, making the sausage,
cutting
the pig up to start with, cutting the lard off of it, cutting it all up into the little squares, putting it in bags, grinding the ground pork, and cutting your pork chops, ham steaks, you know, all this kind of stuff. When you spend a whole day doing that and wrapping it and putting it in freezers and stuff like that, we ran out of time.
And we didn't film.
No, we didn't film it because we already have videos on that. We ran out of time getting to the bacon and getting it ready to cure. Plus, I had a few errands I had to do right before it got late. And when you clean this equipment up, it takes like an hour to clean the bandsaw up and bleach it all back down. Plus, bleach the whole building down, clean all the grinders. That takes time to get all that done. Well, this morning we're back out here early. I'm a little concerned. The freezer is sitting at 22 degrees in there. I have it set at 34. I don't know why it's 22.
And what's the temp out here?
Temp outside is 45.
So it's not because of the temps outside?
No, it's not because of the temperature outside. The unit's running right now. It's on 22 degrees. So I don't know why that is. I just know that I got 2 slabs of bacon hanging in here.
It's probably froze.
They may be froze. I don't know. But This thing, oh, it just kicked off. This thing cools so efficiently. I'm just blown away.
And a lot of people were asking about what this building is called.
This is a FEMA Talco fire suppressant building.
Station or
station. I think it's a suppressant building. You'll find them on Marketplace. I think the main company was in Colorado that had all these. They were supposedly they were never used. They just been sitting in storage for years, and they were decommissioned and put back out to the public to purchase. This was designed, in my understanding now, this was designed like if you have a bunch of FEMA trailers sitting in an area, this was designed to sit out in the center of all of them. And this was a fire station to keep water in. There was a giant tank in here that held water. It had a heater in there. It had they had a big thing that come out each side right here, a big old hose where you could hook a fire hose to it, where you could, you know, if you had a fire, you had immediate water right here where you could put it out. It was a good idea.
Because those buildings were so small,
yeah,
that
it
would
wouldn't
have...
take a lot to put one of them out, or to at least hold it till the fire department got there. Let's put it that way. That's my understanding. Now, they had all kind of computer boards in this thing. They had a big, huge 1.5 horsepower pump in here that pumped the water and stuff like that. It already had a drain in the floor. It had all kind of hoses that went with it. Massive electrical systems in here. It was good from, oh, what did I read? It's been so long back now. Negative 35 to 100-something degrees. It's supposed to be able to withstand that without any problems.
And they're heavy. Regardless of what they look like, they're pretty heavy.
Even when you gut it. Me and Tim, when we went to pick this thing up, it was all me and him could do to flip this thing over and push it up on a trailer by ourselves. And when I got here, we took the Kubota and unloaded it. I was like, no, we're not unloading this by hand. But now to get all the guts out of them, and because it's all brand new, a lot of it's never, ever, I mean, it's never been used. It has some very fancy stuff in it. So if you're all about refurbishing or repurposing, there's a lot of stuff in this thing. There's a giant tank that went in it. I forgot how many gallons it is, like 600 gallons or something like that.
But you bought yours gutted.
Mine, the guy had already gutted it. Thank the Lord, I didn't have to do that. But they're made where you can take the bolts out of them around them here and out around the seam here, and you can take half of it off. You can get all these parts out of it without having to damage them or destroy them. Now, to take the bolts out, if you was to purchase one of these, it is a specific bolt that's in there. It's not a Torx. It's a security bolt that is different from any one of the ones, the 5-star one. It's a 5-star. It's a pentagram type head on it. And it's not a star pentagram. It is a actual pentagram head on it. But you will have to drill the hole out in the center of it that's already in it just a little bit larger. That's what I had to do to fit this, because this is some reason it's a government issued bolt that is, you can't buy a tool that fits it, okay? I have tons of these tools and none of mine would fit it. And I had to drill the center out on one of them, and now I got one that'll fit it perfect all the way around it. That's why when I went back and changed. I put regular bolts in it because it's a standard thread. It's not a SE thread. It's not a metric thread or nothing like that. It's still a standard thread bolt. But you can do that if you so choose to. I chose to start replacing my bolts. I'll eventually replace these and get rid of all this crazy stuff that's on here, and just swap it all out. But right now, I ain't worried about it. I had to have it in a hurry. We fix to check this bacon out and see if it's froze. It says it's 32 in there. When I open the door, if you look through the paper right there, well, it just went to 33 when I opened the door. Right there. It says it's 33 degrees in here. This in here, you know, I think I know what the deal is. The probe on this is hanging down lower than the cool bot is up there. So
you got to bring your probe up where your meat is.
My probe's going to have to be up where the meat's at, I'm pretty sure.
But isn't that pretty?
Ooh, look at that. I'm going to get up in here, but it's cold. Oh, yeah, it's nice and cold up in here. Oh, it is almost froze. It's pretty stiff.
It's gonna work really good.
It's gonna work really, really good. I think it's probably lost some weight too. To be honest with you, it's been sitting in here and it's cold. It's probably dried out a little bit more. I don't know. It's pretty heavy. Okay, one of the tips for when you're weighing meat, go ahead and put your hanger on it and adjust it to 0 so that way you can get it exactly right. Okay, now we're gonna hang this thing up there. We're gonna see what it actually weighs. Because this only goes to 10 pounds, but it will go back around again. Let's see how close we are. It feels like it's about 13, 14 pounds. Okay, we're all the way around once, 12, 13. 13 pounds. I'm gonna have to do 2. You think I can cut that pretty close to get 6.5 pounds?
One of them might be 6 and one might be 6.5.
No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Okay?
Let's do it. Let's see.
Let's do it.
Let's see how good he is.
Let's see how good I am.
The bottom seems to weigh more.
Okay, but first of all, where's my bags? Let me more than the bag is. So, okay, the bag, I can go a pretty good ways up
You're
on
gonna
that.
get half and half.
I can get half and half in that because it's narrow enough to fit.
I guarantee you it ain't gonna be 6.5 and 6.5.
Come on, man.
Bet? What you on a bet?
Gosh, don't do that to me, Wanda.
I'm gonna get a coffee.
Okay, let me.
I gotta get my fancy coffee.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get it.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna get it.
Cut it off. You're gonna miss that 6.5
I'm not gonna miss
by
it.
half an inch. I mean half a pound. What you want to bet? Half a pound. I'm gonna get my coffee. You did not. Look at
Yes! 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 Yes!
Okay, I'm just gonna make a pot of my espresso and be done with it.
Yes! Gosh, I know I'm still good.
Woo!
Man. Anyway.
Now we've got to mix up our seasonings.
Yeah, but look at this right here, though. That's some of our bacon on the end right there.
All right, weigh that one. Let's see what it weighs.
Man.
I can't believe you did that.
Yes!
He still got it.
I still got it. Okay, there we go. 5, 6.
Oh, 6 and barely over 6,
6 and
3
5
quarters.
8 5/8 to 3/4.
You're pretty doggone close.
Well, I know it's already been zeroed out for that.
Yeah, it was zeroed out for that.
Yeah.
So you are almost perfect.
Almost perfect. Okay, we weighed this out 6.5 pounds. Our measurements, it works out really good for us, is 1 tablespoon of salt, coarse kosher salt right here, per pound. We have found that to be the best measurement for us for as far as taste. So being at 6.5, we're gonna go 7 tablespoons. Okay, and if your bacon ends up being, everybody goes, oh, my bacon's too salty. Don't let that freak you out. All you've got to do is once it's sliced, and before you cook it, just take you a bowl of warm water, throw however many slices it is that you're going to cook over into that warm water and let it sit there for 4 or 5 minutes and kind of slosh them around in there a little bit, take them out, and it won't be salty.
And dry them off.
Well, yeah, dry them off before you put it in the skillet. Some things are common sense, but just dry them off, and it will not be salty. That's just the way it works. Okay, now we got 1 tablespoon of salt per pound, and because it's 7 pounds, we're going to still do the 7 tablespoons of sugar.
He's doing heaping tablespoons too. He ain't breaking them off.
Now, we like ours to have just a little bit more sweetness to it, so I'm going to go 8. We're going to add 1 more. And I did heapings, now like Miss Wanda said. I didn't do
Rounds, flattened off.
I didn't do them flattened off. Okay, so we're going to take this. And what you want to do is take your fingers. You want to just kind of, because you know, brown sugar is kind of moist anyway. You want to, because it got a few little clumps in it where it's moist, you want to mix that salt in with it. I'm talking about really good. Now, sugar is also a curing agent as well as the salt is. Now, we have learned that if you use the kosher salt that is fine, it does get way too salty. So we use the coarse. That's another reason for using the coarse salt. We got the first batch here. Now we have these plastic tubs. I recommend getting you a big plastic tote like this to put them in.
These are food grade.
Do not use aluminum. Now you can use stainless. I don't like to use stainless, but I have in the past and I haven't really seen any kind of negative side effects from it. But I do recommend using the LEM plastics, food grade plastic, because it leaves no residue or nothing like that. And if you put it in aluminum or anything like that, or copper or any other kind of metals out there, it does leave a metallic taste. Okay, so here we go. What we're going to do is we're just going to take this and we're just going to sprinkle it over the surface of it. How much it weighs?
Can he do it again?
Let's see, here's
all the way around. 15 pounds, so 7.5 each.
7.5 and 7.
Can you do it again?
Oh.
Here's your bag. Measure out and make sure your bag's gonna work.
Yeah, let's check this bag because this is bigger than the other one.
But I think you can get 2 in there. Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, well, let's see here.
Yeah.
It's going to be tight.
It's gonna work.
It's going to be tight. I'm going to tell you that. It's going to be really,
7.5 and 7.5. Now we're going for my coffee.
Oh, boy.
Can he do it a second time?
Well, that right there is going to throw me off right here.
Specialty coffee.
A little bit thicker there. We're a little bit thicker there. Okay. I'm afraid that one there is a little bit long for my bag, but it's so thick right here. You know, right up in here. I'm probably gonna miss this one because I'm thinking about my bag.
Come on.
Okay, let's do it. Ooh, that bacon has dried out. I'm talking about it.
It is nice.
It has worked out really, really. I don't want to drop this either.
All right, let's see where it goes to when he cuts it off.
That's pretty heavy there.
It needs to be 7.5. It's at 7. A little less than 7.
The lessons. I knew it was going to be because I didn't have a choice. It wasn't going to fit in the bag.
All right, so see what this one is. All right, let's see what this one weighs. 8 pounds. Almost. Well, yeah, it went over 8.
It's right at 8. Yeah.
All right, so I get a Southern Turn coffee.
Yeah, I didn't have a choice really because my bag. I wasn't going to get it in a bag because you look. Because I kept looking at it. I said, I mean, there's no way I could have if I'd have went up.
Half of one would have made it.
Yeah, but this is where I would have gotten in trouble at right here. Because see, that is exactly the size of the bag.
Yep.
If I'd have come down where I wanted to, like right here, it wouldn't have fit in the bag.
Oh, that's right. You needed part of this one on that one.
Part of this
I
one
got
needed to be on that one, and I knew if I made it longer, I kept looking at it. I said, if I do it, I'm not going to be able to get it in my bag. So I said, I just have to take the loss on this one. But
and buy me a coffee.
I have to buy you a coffee.
Let's finish this up.
All right, let's get this done.